Hello guys, welcome to this episode. Karibu Familia. Let me do like Joshua said, the great in Swahili, according to Joshua. Karibu Familia. Karibu Familia. Karibu Familia. That's what Joshua said, the great in Swahili. Not Swahili, Swahili. Anyways, guys, welcome to this episode. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please click the subscribe button. Click the notification bell so you get updates every time we drop a new video. Now, the gold mafia matter. You remember, Ricky Dulan came out to say they were aware, him and Uebert Angel, they were aware they were being secretly recorded. And that they knew those cameras were there. That they were just acting and playing along. And we came out to tell you that it is impossible that they knew. And I will give my reasons after you watch this. Shout out to AM7 TV for putting this together. Yeah, watch this and when you come back.
Uebert Angel's assistant claimed on separate occasions that they knew they were being recorded.
They are presenting this documentary like it's a secret investigation. Yet it wasn't a secret investigation. I know it, and the other people involved also know this. Yes, they placed cameras in certain angles that made it look like it was without our knowledge. But there was a prior conversation minutes before where we talked about them filming a few minutes of our conversation to tell their bosses and show their bosses this was a legitimate negotiation taking place.
However, Aljazeera reporter and narrator of the 4 episodes, Alexander James, says Angel and his group were never aware of a recording, and that as investigative journalists they were used to such accusations.
That you will have seen some of the comments or responses about people claiming to be hoodwinked, or I think in one case they even claimed that they were fully aware that they were being filmed with the hidden cameras and were acting up to it. Hidden camera journalism is and undercover work has a long history. I don't think there's been any meddling or interference on that front, but we certainly had some interesting replies.
James says Al Jazeera has documents to prove that Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa was fully involved in the gold mafia and will be ready to post this documentary proof as and when they will be needed. Alexander James thinks that the decision of the Zimbabwean government to investigate the gold mafia is questionable, especially when the president is heavily involved.
You have to question the ability of some of those organizations to effectively target the corruption that they are claiming to be able to go after. And I feel this is particularly the case in Zimbabwe, when there's all these sounds about investigations into the gold mafia and accounts being frozen. The gold mafia exists by the patronage of the very top, of the number one, as they refer to him, the president himself. And that's what our evidence points towards. And when you have a level of individual control in a state, when a state is captured, when it works for the benefit of a powerful minority rather than its people, and makes policy decisions in their personal interests, you have to question the ability of institutions to be independent and to be able to effectively investigate that corruption. So we will cooperate, we will share information as and when it's needed, but I think there has to be some questions as to the ability of some of these authorities to tackle the gold mafia.
The lawyer claims Al Jazeera's undercover journalists were suspicious when they appeared in Scotland in 2021, and according to him, the National Security Intelligence had advised them to play along.
The intelligence advised my client that they had serious doubts about the persons, they had serious suspicions about the persons, and that it was not advisable right at that stage for those persons to meet the president. In fact, national intelligence discovered that those persons intended something very dangerous, not just to the country but to the president, that their aim was at the president. and whatever. So the position which was discussed, this interaction then led to what we are calling a classified national intelligence assignment.
Aha! So, like I said, Ricky Dulan is a very shady character, and so is Uebert Angel. Both very shady characters. Ricky Dulan abandoned his wife to go and marry into Uebert Angel's family, just so he can get access to the golden cow, so that they can do their nonsense together. Now, for Ricky Dulan to come out to say they knew that Uebert Angel had intelligence, that they knew that these people were recording them, is a lie. Because number one, the angles of the camera, if you watch investigative journalism, most of the cameras they use, you won't know it's a camera. You can't know it's a camera. So the angles of the camera, it's not like they are recording them like this. If they knew, they will set up tripod and they will be recording them directly. But they didn't know. And number two, they are not professional actors. Once subconsciously, once you know there's a camera somewhere, your eye will be going there. Your eye will be going to the camera. Uebert Angel knew that there's camera and he was talking anyhow. Do you think we are foolish? He was talking anyhow. He was calling Scott, insulting Macmillan, talking about how the president owns land in Victoria Fall, calling the first lady, and he knew that they were being recorded. Do you people think we are foolish? We are not foolish, my brother. Listen, that is why I was saying that the attempt by the Zimbabwean government to investigate this matter is null and void. And Uebert Angel, the only people that can hold Uebert Angel accountable is the people, his church members. But those zombies, they will not do anything. Because the president, Magagangwa, is also involved in this. He's a major player. You can see this Uebert Angel called the wife. For Uebert Angel to have this confidence to say everything he says, that he can move $1 billion, you should know that he has the backing of the president. And now the president is trying to save face, to say, oh, he's coming to investigate. Can you investigate yourself? As it is now, journalists in Zimbabwe cannot talk about this matter because they will be arrested. You cannot investigate yourself. And sadly, this is what is going on all across Africa. These useless pastors and prophets are being used to launder money, launder resources, steal the resources that belong to the people. After they will come out on this and say, if I be a prophet of God, and your zombies that call themselves members, we shout amen. Zombies, brainless. They remove their brain, they put it in front of the church, then they walk into the church brainless. The people should wake up before it's too late though. It's already too late for many of you. Many of you is already too late. But the ones that still have time before it's too late, wake up. Because these men will use you to build their empire. Collect tithe, collect offering, collect seed. They become billionaires. At the end of the day, they pass this thing to their children. Their children continue to oppress your own children. Have sense. There is no power in these places. There is no power in any of these prophets. There is no power. They have no power whatsoever. They are con men, criminals, and you are enabling them. Have sense. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Sky, laugh me. Follow Aboki on Sky and Joshua Comedy, and follow us on social media. Don't forget guys, question everything because normal is boring.